Hi, I'm Khatlisima Tabat. I'm 28 years old from Limpopo Province, Polokwane, currently residing in Gauteng Province. This video is about my journey with vitiligo, and I'm doing this because I needed this when I first discovered that I have a condition called vitiligo. I wanted to hear someone talk about it. I wanted to hear someone that has experienced it before or who was currently experiencing vitiligo. And I just wanted to hear it from them, not doctors, not articles, not Google. I wanted to hear it from somebody who has experienced it before. So that is why I'm doing this video. And yeah, this is how it all started. It started in 2021. Well, but that was not vitiligo. That was acne, right? So I had acne in 2021, and I'm somebody who has a very calm skin, skin that doesn't react too quickly, that is not too demanding or anything like that. So I had acne and I didn't even know it was, like, I thought it was rash. I was calling it rash. I don't know, maybe I was just trying to make myself feel better or not freak myself out or whatever. And then I went to the doctors and I was like, what is going on? Like, what is this on my face? I have this rash on my face. I don't like it. And he's like, no, it's not rash, it's acne. And in my head, I'm like, acne is a strong word. I didn't want to hear that because it freaked me out. And I was like, oh, so this is a big deal now. So fine, he gave me, I went to a GP, not a dermatologist. I went to a GP and he prescribed me some acne pills and they were a bit expensive. And I had people say that once you start taking acne pills, the minute you stop, the acne comes back. So I was like, you know what? I can't. I'm not even going to start with these pills. I'm not going to take them. I'm not going to buy them. Fine. Then I went on with my life. And then that was end of 2021, like around October day, right? So 2022, January, my skin had that acne still. And I started realizing that the skin here, like at my under eyes, it was getting lighter. So it wasn't like, it didn't freak me out, to be honest. At first, it did not freak me out at all. I was like, okay, maybe this is just the acne, like, I don't know, like, I thought maybe it was still part of the same condition, and it didn't freak me out at all. I thought that my skin color is gonna come back to normal and then I'll be fine. And then as time went on, I started to realize, maybe like after like 2 weeks, that okay, I think these white patches are getting bigger, like they're spreading, not too big, but I could tell that they are now different from how they were when they first started. I was not at home then, I was in Gauteng, then I went home. And then I was having a conversation with my mom and she's like, yeah, no, this is not okay. Like, what's going on with your eyes? And then I started thinking about it more than I used to think about it. It was now like, okay, what is going on? So maybe this is something serious. But I didn't know what it was. And then I went on Google, and I remember there was this one night. I don't know exactly what happened that day, but I think I started realizing that this is spreading. Like, this is spreading and it's getting bigger and bigger. The white patches are getting bigger and bigger. So I went on Google at night when everyone else was sleeping, and I was just, when you do those researches, when you're like done with this website, you go into the other one. I was just reading about like white patches and everything like that, and they all took me down to like vitiligo. And I was like, oh, no. Like, I was in denial. But honestly, like, I knew that, okay, this is vitiligo, I guess. Because they are explaining what is happening to me. But I didn't want to fully believe it because it was too scary for me. Like, I didn't want to believe it. I was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe it's something similar to that. Maybe my condition is a bit different. Maybe it's not really vitiligo. Maybe there's something in between vitiligo and the real vitiligo and my condition is like somewhere in the middle. Like I was in denial. And the next morning, I told my mom, I was like, you know, last night I was doing research and it showed that I have a condition called vitiligo. And I explained to her what it was, and she was like, yeah, that's what you're having. Like, I can see that, like, it's spreading. So, like, it looks like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much, like, my mom was like, she 100% agreed with that. And that scared me so much. It's like, wait, what? So you don't think I'm having something in between vitiligo and like wow, like just having my mom believe that and actually agree with that, that was scary. At that minute I was like, okay, I think I need to leave. I was in Bulgaria at that time. I was like, I think I need to leave. I need to go back to Gauteng. I need to go back maybe to Pretoria and see if I could find a dermatologist that can help me. And at that time, my biggest worry was, because I could see, or I read on Google that there were treatment options for it, right? Fine, that was not a problem. The problem was, where am I gonna get those people who can treat it? Where am I gonna get those dermatologists? I was like, I was asking myself if we really do have those options in South Africa, because they could be talking about people that are not even in South Africa who can treat it or help manage it, you know. But my biggest question was, do we even have those dermatologists in South Africa that can help manage or at least, you know, control it in a way? And I honestly didn't believe it, because everyone that I knew who had vitiligo, they they never got treatment for it. They never got better. They never got their skin back. Like, so to me it just seemed like, yeah, well, there could be doctors, but maybe not in South Africa, because everyone that I know here who has vitiligo, not like, I didn't have friends or neighbors or anyone like that who had it like at close range, but I knew people who had it, and I saw like some people I went to high school with and they were fine in high school, and then all of a sudden they have like vitiligo, and maybe I saw them once and then I see them again on social media and they still have it. And even some of our celebrities here, they do have it. Some people on TV, they do have it, and they're not getting any better. If anything, it's spreading, you know. So I was 100% convinced that no, there's really nothing I can do about this, you know. So fine, but I didn't want to give up too quickly. I was like, you know what, let me just go and give it a try. And my biggest fear was finding a doctor in South Africa that can treat it, a dermatologist that can treat or help manage vitiligo, who was maybe based in somewhere like in Cape Town. Like, that was like way too far from where I stay, because now it was gonna be way too expensive for me I was not even gonna afford it. I was just gonna let it spread. So fine, I went to Pretoria, I went to the skin clinic, and they told me that there was a lady that I approached and then she was like, okay, so what is your problem? And I said, okay, I have this condition, I think it's vitiligo, so I just wanted to find out if there's anything that you guys can help me with. And she was like, oh no, what we can help you with is that acne. As for the vitiligo, no, that one cannot be cured, treated, or even managed in any way. I'm sorry, my daughter has it as well. It started on her hands and now it's like all over. It's spreading so fast. We went everywhere. We went to hospitals, we went to doctors. There's no one who can treat that or even manage it in any way. So, but anyways, it's not a big deal. You can just live with it. It's not a train smash. You'll be fine. My daughter has it as well. In my head, I'm like, not me. I won't be fine. Like, I won't be fine. Just looking at myself and thinking that the next day or the next month or the next year from now, I won't be the same, and I would never, ever, ever be the same way I was before. I remember even telling my mom, like, I have a son, he's 3 years old, and I was telling my mom, like, Mom, do you know that my son would never get a chance to see me this way, because this is spreading. So by the time he gets older, I'll be completely different from the way I am. Like, just thinking about that, like, that hit me hard. Like, I was even thinking, like, okay, what about my future kids? Like, they would never get to see me. Like, they'll only see me on pictures and say, this is how my mom was, and now she looks different. Like, that freaked me out. Like, that scared me. Like, just the fact that I was never gonna see myself again like the way I was before. Like, I had to now adjust to this new normal that I was not okay with. Like, that was a lot. That was a lot. Just thinking about it was like freaking me out. Not even just like thinking that next year this time I won't be the same as this, and this is the last time that I'm gonna look like this. Because at that time it was just like here, it was only here, but it was spreading, and I was like, so this is, I remember leaving home telling my mom that this is the last time you're gonna see me like this. It's either I'm gonna be worse than this when I come back, or I'm gonna be better. And thinking of I'm gonna be worse than that, like, it just made me wish that I could just like pause the time and just hold on to myself. And it was a lot. Like, I felt like, honestly, like, I wish I could pause time and just, even though I did have that vitiligo, but it was just still here, and I could still see a little bit of myself. But the way I was at that time, and thinking of how I would be in the next 2-3 months, it was scary. It was like, just the thought of it was overwhelming, you know. So on our way from that skin clinic in Pretoria, I was just like on my phone and like trying to call dermatologists in Gauteng, whether it's in Johannesburg or Pretoria. I was just trying to call them and see if I could just book an appointment and see if I could get help or not. So what happened was, some I could get hold of, some I couldn't get hold of. Most of the ones that did actually even post on their social media saying that they can treat vitiligo, when I called them, they were just fully booked for like the next 2-3 months. And I was like, what? Like, because I was like, okay, if you're saying I should come and see you in the next 3 months and this is spreading, that means I must just accept that this is how this is going to be. Like, it's just going to spread, and then I'm going to see a doctor after 3 months. Like, how would I even look at that point, you know? And then how am I going to leave? Like, how am I going to survive this whole 3 months of waiting, you know? And then it was on a Thursday. Yeah, it was on a Thursday, and I just kept making those calls, and you know, I was just drained. Like, it drained me, and I went to sleep at night. I was like, it's fine, I'll see what I can do tomorrow. And my biggest fear in that too was finding a doctor, that's a dermatologist, that says they can treat it, and then I'll spend the less money that I have, and then they can't, and then just later find out that I'm not getting any better. Like, that was my biggest fear, because I felt like I didn't have a lot of money. Like, I had money that, okay, if I could get the right doctor, yes, I can pay, and then I will get better, or it will stop spreading, or whatever the case would be or may be. But then if I could just find one wrong doctor and I spend all that money, and then later find maybe the right doctor who would be able to help me, I was not going to be able to afford to pay for it anymore. So I needed my first attempt to be the best doctor. That, like, I needed that. So fine, the next day, and it gave me so much anxiety and just so much pressure, because how do you even know if you're gonna find that person, if you're gonna find that dermatologist that can really do what they say they can do, you know? And how do you know that your body's gonna react positively to that or not? So it was just, it was a lot. Then the next day I woke up early in the morning with the calls again. I called this other doctor. It was on a Friday then. Yeah. I called. They're like, fully booked. Maybe like the next 3 weeks. Come in after like 3 weeks, or a month, or 2 months. And the other one said, it was on a Friday, she said, you can come on Tuesday. And I was like, wow, this is for me. Like, this is my doctor. Like, and I remember I prayed that morning. I was like, God, I need a real doctor who can be able to help me. And fine, when that doctor said you can come in on Tuesday, I was like, okay, now this is God sent. But then I didn't give up. I continued calling, because I was like, maybe I can still find something sooner. Because I was thinking, like, it's Friday, by Tuesday I'll be different. Like, my patches would be bigger than this, you know? So the sooner I go to the doctors, the better. So I continued calling, and this one lady was like, would you be able to come in at 1 o'clock? I'm like, when? Today? And she said, yeah, today, like at 1 o'clock. I was like, yes, I'll be there. And I just woke up, I got myself ready, and yeah, I got myself ready, and then I went to Waterfall and in Midrand, and I got there. I think I was like maybe 5 minutes late, you know, but like I got there and I had so much anxiety. I had low self-confidence. I was depressed. Like, I didn't even want to go. Like, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to make eye contact with anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, I felt like my whole world was like upside down. Like, I didn't want to be seen by anybody. And then just going there was a challenge. But I was excited that, okay, somebody agreed to see me. I'm going to meet a dermatologist, and hopefully he can help me. And then when I got there, I went to skin them in Waterfall. And I got there and I met Dr. Lucian Pillay. And he was just so calm and so friendly. And he, like, the condition didn't freak him out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't seem like, oh, this is new, what are we gonna do? No, it's like something that he was used to, and he knows how to deal with it. And the way he was so calm, it made me feel calm. But I was just, sorry, I was just depressed with that whole situation. And I remember he was asking, like, okay, so are you here? Are you here for the vitiligo, or are you here for the acne? And I was like, I'm here for both. Because at that time, like, I couldn't even recognize myself. And it made me feel sad to feel, I don't know, like, I lost my confidence. I didn't have my confidence at all at that time. And I hated feeling like that, you know, because I know that before that whole skin drama or condition, like, I was fine and I was confident. I could make eye contact, I could talk, and that time I just didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to interact with anybody, you know. And thank God for the masks at that time. I was just like hiding my face all the time. And then yeah, he checked me out, and then he told me that I was stressing a lot, which I was, you know. I think we all know that growing up it's not easy, you know. It's always like there's always something that is stressing you out, or something that you want that you don't have. There's always something that you're worried about. And of course, as a mom as well, it can be a lot sometimes, you know. So at that time in my personal life, I was going through a lot. And the last thing that I needed was to just have something like vitiligo add on that. So when he was like, just try not to stress too much, because it's not good for you, it's not good for your skin, it's not good for your mental health, just try to take it easy. And he just checked me, he checked my skin, he prescribed me medication, and then he gave me he gave me pills. Yeah, he gave me pills that I was supposed to take, and then he gave me prescription for acne and also some ointments for the vitiligo. And he told me to start with the laser treatment the following, because it was on a Friday, the following week. I think I was supposed to start on a Monday. Yes, on Monday. Yeah, I was supposed to start with the laser treatment at Morningside, his other branch. So I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, once you start with that, at least it's gonna stop spreading. And that gave me that thing of, okay, so now it's like I can breathe a little, you know. I can just, okay, I'm not the same as before, but at least it won't spread anymore, you know. Then fine, I started going there for my laser treatments. And a few weeks later, like immediately after I went there, a few weeks later, I've realized that, okay, it's no longer spreading, so it's fine now. It's not spreading. It's at least controlled to some extent. And then like a month, or even less than a month, I started seeing like my brown skin like starting just here. And then I was like, wow, it gave me so much hope, and my mental health was a lot better. I was more hopeful. I was able to breathe again. And yeah, it felt good. It gave me so much hope, and I could just breathe at that point. And yeah, I was really happy.